Democrats in Congress introduced legislation Thursday to get underway with the fate of Puerto Rico's future status, including possible statehood and its relationship with the mainland. The Puerto Rico Self-Determination Act of 2021 calls for a group of delegates chosen by Puerto Rican voters to be responsible for coming up with long-term solutions for the island's territorial status. Most Puerto Ricans favor statehood or some form of its current territorial status, but according to NBC News, historically, the island's chances to explore independence as an option were limited, especially during the Cold War, when Puerto Rico was of strategic importance to the U.S. and the nation's military. One of the two women who introduced this to Congress said, in quote, "The measure is as much about allowing Puerto Ricans to assert their political identity as it is about the identity of the United States." Well, also in Puerto Rico, some exciting news for the tourism industry. The executive director of the Port Authority has confirmed the arrival of 11 cruise ships that will be using San Juan as their base port. Our Francis Felix has more.
After the impact due to the pandemic situation, the island is preparing to receive 11 cruises that will set sail from San Juan during the winter season. Starting October, Puerto Rico will have the visit of 11 cruise ships. The executive director of the Authority of Ports, Joel Pisa, pointed out the importance of the arrival of these cruise ships after the stop due to the pandemic times. How important is after the pandemic times to reactivate our ports and economic movement with the arrival of these cruises in the winter season?
Well, after many operational and financial hardships as a result of the COVID-19, we are so excited to experience a robust resumption period of the cruise industry. An example of that is that in this winter season, we're going to have more than precisely 11 cruise ships. We're going to have home port operations in the island. That is going to help a lot the community, the businesses, restaurants, taxis, tour operators, and those stakeholders will in some way compensate for many years of financial hardships as a result of the pandemic. So we are so excited. Puerto Rico is a destination that the cruise lines and the passengers always love. We have good infrastructure. We are a United States territory. We have the air access and connectivity that is very important to promote the home port operations in multiple jurisdictions. So yes, we hope that we can keep growing, have a steadfast recovery, and I can vouch that the passengers on the cruise line will enjoy this island.
From Disney to luxury lines, the tourism industry in Puerto Rico will have a high season that is expected to impact directly the local economy. The variety of vessels will use Puerto Rico as a base port.
We are very excited to have once again the Disney Cruise Line to have a home port operation in the island. We're going to have the Norwegian Epic once again. Royal Caribbean will allocate the Voyager of the Seas. We are going to have for the first time a Virgin Voyages cruise in the island. It's called the Resilient Lady. It's the third and newest cruise ships of the fleet. Also, we're going to have the Virma. It's the new super yacht of the Ritz-Carlton line. They are now incursioning in the cruise industry. So Ritz-Carlton is going to have a home port operation with a new yacht here. So it's 11 total. That doesn't mean that we are going to receive only 11. We're going to receive much more in port of call and transit costs. I am only highlighting and underscoring only those that are going to make home port in the island.
There's an expectation of the direct impact on the tourism, on the economic movement in the island.
There's a benchmark that we have for every 1,300 passengers. The estimate of the economic impact is like $250,000. So we can have a benchmark, for example, divide 1,300 for every passengers that we're going to have this season, multiply that for $250. So we're talking about millions of dollars of influx to the economy of Puerto Rico.
It's expected for more cruise ships to come and people from around the world to visit the island. Reporting from Pier 4, Ocean 1, Francis Felix.
All right, thanks so much, Francis. In the meantime, a new budget has passed in the Turks and Caicos, and hundreds of millions of dollars will be spent on education, tourism, and transportation improvements. Our One Caribbean News' Deandra Hamilton reports.
It's a $388.9 million budget for the Turks and Caicos, and in there are some plans which are aimed at helping students, boosting tourism, improving infrastructure, and addressing transportation issues. Earlier this month, Minister of Education Rachel Taylor said $133,000 was allotted to schools across the country to procure the books for students. It offsets the hundreds of dollars in spending by families for these vital tools. Minister Taylor also announced the improvement and expansion of several schools across the TCI.
To secondary education, we will be constructing a new 6-classroom block for the Louise Garland Thomas High School and refurbishment of a 3-classroom block at the Clement Howell High School with an estimated whooping total cost of $3 million.
From the Tourism Minister, Josephine Connolly, news that a capacity study was allotted $100,000 and it will advise expansions in the cruise sector.
Speaker, with the return of the cruise sector in December of 2021 and the unannounced interest of other carriers to embark on arrivals to Grand Turk, we thought it necessary at this time to commission a carrying capacity study. You will see $100,000, Mr. Leader of the Opposition, budgeted on the ministry to carry out this project.
And in a shocking announcement, Minister of Physical Planning and Infrastructure Development, Akira Mizik, said with both left and right-hand drive cars on the roads in the TCI, discussions have started about which side is best for driving in this British overseas territory.
Possibly considering the importation of right-hand vehicles versus left-hand vehicles. As the Transportation Master Plan is underway, a decision will need to be taken in the infrastructure development needs of these islands.
And that was our DeAndre Hamilton reporting there. Well, meantime, Barbados native Rihanna is a new mom. A source close to the couple confirmed Thursday the superstar singer and her partner, A$AP Rocky, have welcomed their first child. TMZ is reporting that the couple had a boy on May 13th. Rihanna and A$AP Rocky went public with their romantic relationship just last May. They revealed she was expecting in a series of photos back in January. The new parents have yet to share the name of their new baby. Meantime, Dominica's opposition leader, Lennox Linton, was among 10 people facing criminal charges over their participation in weekly walks in the capital without police permission. Lynn, as well as organizer of the walks, Atherton Martin, among others, were among those who appeared in court on Thursday. They were charged in March and April, and they took part in public processions in Rosal without the written permission of the police chief, which is required under the Public Order Act. Now, they all pleaded not guilty and were ordered to reappear in court on October 14th. Despite finding himself on the wrong side of the law, the organizer of the weekly marches is not backing down. Martin said the walks for peace, justice, and prosperity in Dominica will continue.
I'm very glad that the police and others are paying attention to the walking, because that's the idea of it. Instead of just talking, we decided let's go one step further and walk to draw attention to these very issues that I've just mentioned previously. And of course we intend to continue walking. Of course we intend to continue walking, not just in the city, but we're going to walk all over Dominica, like we did last night. We walked in the city in the morning, we went to Salisbury in the evening. We're going to walk in the city next Wednesday, then we'll go to another community and walk in the evening. And so we will gradually extend the awareness possibilities of these issues of peace and justice and prosperity that are the focus of our walking to other parts of the country. And we will not stop.
Well, more exciting news for the island of Puerto Rico. The store Toes is opening up their 11th store. And today, our Marisol Rivera brings us more on their new collection exclusively for Puerto Rico.
Hello, friends. We're here at the Toes store with the sister duo, Alba and Rosa, president and vice president. They will also be opening an 11th store in Las Catalinas Mall. Let's speak with them to tell us everything there is to know about the new Toes collection created exclusively for the Puerto Rican market. Puerto Rico is in the top 10 markets for Toes, even though you have 500 stores around the world. Yeah. I mean, where does that put us in your book?
Yeah, we have been here for more than 20 years, and always the people from Puerto Rico It's lovely people that wants us, so we are coming and coming and coming.
That this collection is going to be very Puerto Ricanian and very toast as well. And the nice thing is that it's going to be, let's say, a limited collection only for Puerto Rico.
You will know when you see it that it's for here, not for any other country, and it will be fantastic. It will be on the 11th store in Catalinas Mall that we opening soon. They will have it starting October.
We are doing this collection really with a lot of love for the people of Puerto Rico.
So remember to visit one of your toast stores in Puerto Rico.